Welcome to the American Fork Podcast.
Gosh, Jake, you sound a lot like a girl today. Wait, that's Amber.
Wait, Amber. It's the American Forked.
What did I
podcast.
say?
American
Fork.
Fork.
Dang it.
We all have done it.
We're going to coach you.
Okay.
Take 5.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, start over.
Welcome to the American Forked Podcast. Dang it, I even practiced in the car.
That was really good.
That was really good.
Thanks.
That was good.
Okay. American Forked is a podcast by lifetime friends who, despite growing up to have different beliefs, are still friends.
You're doing an excellent job.
Yeah.
This is really
Thanks.
good.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I did practice in the
I
car.
like
That
it.
wasn't a lie.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. So our first story, of course.
Wait.
is
You
what?
got to
What?
introduce people.
Oh, gosh, dang it.
Yeah, no swearing either on this podcast.
You don't have to, actually.
No, I wanted to. That's why we waited.
I should say, because apparently nobody else did, but when you host, you can do anything you want.
That's
No,
true.
I wanna
Actually,
There
introduce.
is no-
You're actually in
I wanna
charge.
do-
There is
Okay.
no script.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Okay. Well,
go
thanks
ahead.
for giving me some grace, guys. Okay. I'm Amber, your host, and across from me is Jake. Hi.
That's true.
Hi,
Yeah,
Jake.
hi.
Yep. And then there's Phil.
I'm Phil. It's
Hi,
over
Phil.
here.
And then Jeff.
I am also here. Over here.
Okay. Now, our first story is from American Fork, which there's been no murds,
No merds?
no
murd.
fires,
Wah, wah,
and no
Oh.
explosions
Dang it.
since the last time we went. I know.
California took
I
all our
mean-
fires.
Yeah, true. We sent them all there. Okay, so I call this one 5, 6, 7, 8. This
9,
It's a
10.
math.
Nine,
It's a
10.
math story.
Yes,
It's a math story.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cheer thing.
Close.
See?
It's about the Cavettes.
Oh.
Yes.
Which is the drill team?
the drill team for the high school. Yes. So they earn 3rd at Region 3 drill meet, which is like a competition.
What does that mean?
It means that they
Region-
placed 3rd
Uh-huh.
at a competition
In regionals,
in regionals.
Oh, in regionals.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
which is like probably like the region.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And they've been working really hard. So congratulations to them on taking 3rd. And also they won an academic award because the majority of the people on the team had a 3.75 GPA.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
I feel like that's actually really
That's
Good.
awesome.
Having served in the cheerleading squad at
Yeah.
American Fork,
Served?
that was
When were you deployed?
I served in cheerleading, and then I
that's a big
served
deal to
in the
have
military.
an entire athletic squad. Have
good
really high
grades.
GPAs.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is cool.
I feel like that was my heart. Like I struggled with that. Like I had to I was on academic probation.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Probably because you hung out with us. And
Yeah,
we were all,
probably.
Like, never going to
we were
school.
like egging deer and, that type
Did we
of
ever
stuff.
successfully tip any cows?
Egging
No.
deer? I don't remember that, but
Or
that
like
Oh,
sounds
no, we
amazing.
did that. Were you
Yeah.
with us?
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like in Trent's boat car.
Yeah. So, side
The
story.
boat car.
So, we would just go buy a lot of eggs to eat them.
Yeah,
Officer.
to eat 'em.
Uh-huh.
We loved
No.
scrambled eggs.
So,
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were there because there wasn't very many of us that were there this day, but I do remember we got a bunch of eggs and we were going to throw them at things. We didn't really have a target, but we were driving around and there was a deer randomly, on the side of the road. So what do? We stop in the middle of the road, of course, get out and throw eggs at it. And I think we successfully hit
Yes,
a deer.
I think that one got hit.
We
Yeah.
egged a
I don't
deer.
remember who
Egg.
did that.
I
Was
feel like it was Trent.
Probably. He was
Yeah.
the most
I
athletic.
think we all feel it was Trent.
Then the other
Right.
question though, was that the same night that we had a herd of elk?
I don't remember the
Oh
elk.
man, that was crazy in the foothills and Cedar Hills. Anyways, that's a different story. But yeah,
Mhm.
we as a conglomerated friends, even if all of you weren't there, have egged a deer. Just so you know.
I paintballed some cows once
Okay.
on that scout trip. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I am sick in the head because I was laughing so hard I could barely point it straight.
Hardly
as
breathe.
the cow tried to get away, but it was too fat and slow.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
There's
So
a number.
paintball,
There's
we-
a number
Go
of
ahead.
things we've done that are highly illegal.
Yeah, I feel like all of
At
my
this point.
wildest adventures were with the family
Yeah.
for sure.
With
doing,
us.
doing something terrible.
Yeah.
Like the potato gun with the cow.
Oh man, shooting.
We didn't
all the
intentionally hit a
animals.
cow with the potato gun, but it was really far away.
And you got it. Target
It hit-
bullseye.
hit the
Bullseye.
cow.
Get it?
Well, we were standing on a deck overlooking a vast expanse in which there were some cattle. And I think Trent put a potato in there.
And it landed on the cow.
You see it hit, and
Oh my
It's-
gosh.
It's
That's
not
crazy.
that bad though. A potato from like 100 feet in the air.
Yeah.
You'd survive it if it,
it,
hit you in
it
the
probably hit terminal velocity, which is probably only like
212
Maybe
miles an
just
hour.
for a
bruised
potato.
head. Yeah.
Just a good bruising.
Terminal velocity for a
39.
potato is not different than for anything else.
Well, you're right. The speed is the same, but
No, it's different.
if a human hit a cow
All
at terminal velocity,
it depends on your weight and your aerodynamics. Yeah.
You either, I don't know.
All objects have a terminal velocity, but they don't all share the same terminal velocity.
Amber, we're going to put your podcast on hold for one moment.
You
to
got
discuss
one
this.
whole
Take it
sentence
away.
in.
Oh,
terminal velocity of a russet
I'd
potato.
expect nothing different.
You won't get an answer.
Well, I probably won't get an answer also because I'm typing it into my bank login information. I
You
literally
had like
typed
a
in.
long stream. Like you kept going.
I typed in terminal velocity of a, and I was like, wait a
So
second.
that's not the search field in America First Credit Union. That is your login.
No, but it'll be unlikely for you to like type in what's the terminal velocity of blank.
I don't know.
I just put
with AI.
This is what I was doing. Terminal velocity of an object. Terminal velocity is the maximum speed that an object can reach. So I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
Like through fluid or air.
Mhm.
Yeah, because if you
Probably
drop a hammer and a feather out of a helicopter from 1,000 feet,
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
feather's not going to.
See, I was under the impression, well, of course, the feather would not reach terminal velocity, right? But I thought terminal velocity. Amber, what's your
Or
problem?
Nothing. No.
Do you think you're trying to do a podcast here? Welcome to Science Hour with Phil, Jake, and Jeff. No, I thought it was like the speed at which something could reach because
It's the maximum speed that it reaches when it. So if you drop a feather and it immediately reaches a speed and doesn't exceed that, it's already at terminal velocity. But if you drop a brick,
At terminal velocity for that object.
yeah, but if you drop a brick, it will accelerate for a few seconds, but then once it meets enough wind resistance that it can no longer accelerate, then
Goodness.
it's at terminal velocity.
I've got a few words for you, Phil. Number one, I don't need your mansplaining.
All right, why don't we
Really
let
kept
Amber?
counting.
Yeah.
And had like 3 words for mansplaining. Mansplaining.
I was counting syllables.
I get it.
I was wrong, Phil. 1,000%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys stop fighting. As your host, I
You're both
command
pretty.
You're both pretty.
There you go.
Jeez, Jake.
Okay, that was perfect. We're moving on to Utah news now, and I really liked the fill in the blank.
Wait,
Well,
Did
I
you-
want to. So,
What?
Cavettes.
Okay, but
We're
we're
still on
going
that
back.
one. Yeah.
Sure.
So they scored third behind Pleasant Grove and Westlake.
Yes.
Pleasant
Oh.
Grove took first. Westlake
That's
took
right.
second.
Ew. Was
Yeah,
that some
well,
shout out to
and
your...
well, it is. Jake and I
Oh.
both live in.
Oh, that's right. Both
or are
of
we
you.
not supposed to say that?
Oh, yeah.
We've said
For all of our
multiple times.
fans, our hardcore fans.
When I read looked through the article, I immediately noticed the list of names of the girls on the squad,
Is it half of like
and I
kids?
immediately was like, "What last name do I recognize?"
Yeah, I
to see
looked too.
which of people I went to high school with have kids on the squad.
and
I haven't
and
seen-
is
Did you
there was
see
there
it?
some?
There was a Cummings,
Oh,
the girl with the last name Cummings, and then there was a man. Where did they go? Another one. It's on there. All red. Greenwood. There's a Greenwood.
Okay.
Hmm.
Most likely related to the Greenwoods. We
yeah.
know.
So go cavemen.
That's it.
Okay,
I
man.
can't hold it in any longer. I think it's been long enough. I'm not talking about these girls at all. Okay. I'm going to preface it by that. They are all incredible students and are wonderful people. But Was it true, like, at one point that, what, Jake?
I don't know, but I can.
You can feel
We're
it?
excited,
Preface, yeah, I
yes.
can
It's a
feel-
racist thing. I know. Whenever Jeff starts hemming and hawing,
No.
that
No.
okay.
A disclaimer at the beginning was funny. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you'll understand. How do I say this?
Just say it.
Were drill girls like the
Can't say
slutty
that
girls in the school?
Mm.
Let me think back. I don't think
No.
so. Okay.
No.
I feel like the slutty ones of any of like cheer and oh man, hold on.
Wow,
'Cause that
you
was-
are really. You
I
are
know.
now. You
Like,
sound
let me
terrible.
slow
Because this was
roll
my
here.
question: was did the cheer? Because you guys did cheer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did cheer and drill team overlap? Like, were there people that did both?
No. Well,
Because
I
isn't
don't
that
think
like a
so.
comparable
No.
like
yeah.
motion of the
There were
arms?
4
Don't
that
throw your
were.
shoulder out.
They weren't on drill. They were on the dance
on
team.
the dance team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But no,
Aubrey and Brienne and
Kelsey and Kylie.
yeah.
So it's really different.
Yeah. So it is different. I feel like there was a year of people that were promiscuous. And then the other years were wholesome. Our year was wholesome.
I might also have mixed up with. I had a crush on them with they are slutty. That might be mixed up a little bit in my universe.
You were like, I wish they were slutty. That's
Yeah,
what
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
He's thinking,
Yeah.
how do sluts get 3.75?
Is this?
Oh my gosh.
That's what he was thinking.
No, you guys are the worst. Why would you even bring this up?
Oh man.
Anyway, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Where am I?
Where am I? What day is it?
Great.
What do we say? Click.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That-
So am I free to move on
You're-
to
yeah,
Please,
go
Utah
ahead.
news?
please.
Sorry.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
We
No,
actually
go
didn't
ahead.
need to like.
Squiff.
You could have went right from where you were going on. Just
Yeah.
cut all that out.
yeah.
No, I
Probably
liked
not.
what Jake. Just maybe the
The racist thing I said.
the racist thing you said. You just
there's not
listen
gonna
back
be a
and follow
racist
your
thing.
heart
Then there's
about
not.
what you want
The
to cut
slut,
out.
the slut shaming that Jeff did?
That's hilarious. Because then there's not a racist comment that I made, so they think I cut it out. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, I like
Wow.
that.
Wow.
Just start over.
Okay, I know. We really maybe should. We won't.
Okay.
Okay, Utah news. Fill in the freaking blank.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
This looks fun.
and
Sounds
then
aggressive.
I will read you the story. Okay.
oh, I like this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fill in the blank. At which point the blank victim began using her blank to blank officers from the suspect.
Whoa.
I heard Phil yelling, "Don't be racist," so loud.
Yes.
I couldn't even hear
That
you.
really was so great.
Wait, say
And
it- say it one
okay,
more time.
Okay, listen up.
Okay.
At which point the blank victim began using her blank to blank officers. I'm sorry. From the suspect.
Okay.
At which
Okay.
point the abused victim began using her pepper spray to spray the officers. What was the
From-
last part?
From
To
the
spray the
suspect.
officers.
to spray the officers
from the suspect. Okay, that
Okay.
is it. Good job. Jake.
At which point, the promiscuous victim began using her runway strut to distract officers from the suspect.
runway strut.
Wow.
Down the count.
Why did we all go female on this one? Because I thought
Wait,
at which point
Because it says her.
Oh, that makes
Began
sense.
using her.
oh,
We paid attention.
yeah.
At which point the female victim began using her dildo to beat
Oh.
officers. What? Are we playing this game?
What?
To
Go.
beat officers from the suspect.
Okay.
She was protecting
All
them.
right.
All right.
We'll
What,
see who's
what
the
does
closest.
reality say?
Okay. So this is titled Halt or I Shall Behead Thee.
Oh,
Utah man holds victims hostage inside Riverton home with a sword.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yes.
I didn't read about it, but I heard.
wait.
So,
So the phrase is in this story?
the phrase is in
Okay.
this story. So we're going
Okay.
to talk about it.
So we're
talk
gonna
about it.
know the real
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
we're going to
okay.
know the real
how
story.
big the dildo was.
Yes.
Jacob.
Yes.
Don't say that word.
Woo. Okay, so a man armed with a sword barricaded himself and two victims inside of a home. And so someone called
Wow.
like a domestic disturbance And so the police showed up and like got the code to get in. And when they tried to get in, the door was barricaded, but they were able to like verbally communicate with the people on the inside. And the first victim was like, I'm fine. I'm free to leave. Like, and they were trying to get her to pull up the blinds so that they could see that she was safe. And then this guy, his name is Lyman, Tyler Lyman.
Not Pace.
Not Tyler
Not
Pace.
Pace Lyman.
Not Pace Lyman. Was like, no, you can't leave. And threatened to cut the victim's head off and place the victim in the oven.
Oh.
Yes.
Whoa.
Wait. There's a problem here. Cut the head off and put the body in the oven? It wouldn't
pretty
fit.
much. Well, he probably wasn't logically thinking
If
like,
he's thinking just the head, maybe.
yeah, the police are like, bluff, we're going to call your bluff. There's
Wouldn't
no
fit in
way
a
a body's
traditional
gonna
oven.
fit in the oven.
What size oven do you have in there?
Yeah.
I think this
Can
guy's
you draw the
Sure.
blind so we could
Sure,
see?
yeah. Okay, we're leaving.
Sure, Mr.
Bye.
Lyman.
Okay, so
Anyway, sorry.
during the encounter, they lost verbal communication, and so they forced their way in, at which point the second victim began using her body to shield officers from the suspect.
Oh.
So Phil was actually kind of close because you said pepper sprayed the officers from the victim. So she was trying to shield the officers from coming in to get the man with the sword. So what I'm
okay.
thinking is that,
There was a relation.
yeah, there's definitely a relationship, and she was
Meth.
trying meth. It's just
She
meth.
knew that she could handle it on her own. She didn't need
Yeah,
police officers come
probably.
in hurting her
Her
step
man.
son-in-law or whoever it was.
Yeah. Well, there were two victims. I'm thinking it's polyamory gone awry.
Mm.
But
Three-ring circus.
Polyamory is
Three.
Multiple
just
lovers.
multiple partners.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But
Jerry Springer style.
yeah. Who knows? So they were able to shoot him, they didn't kill him. They just were able to like
shoot his shoulder.
yeah. They shot the sword right out of his hand.
Yeah.
Picked it up. Actually, the other
Put it in
victim
the
did
oven.
pick it up. It says that she like picked it up and then like put it back down.
Probably a smart idea, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Like,
putting it
well,
down
like,
part.
what are you going to do? But the
idea.
guy had previously been involved in like violent things and had mental health issues.
You don't
and-
say.
I know. Shocking.
Amazing.
Shocking.
Did they have a picture of the sword?
I wish so.
I kind of have a problem with that because I notice people think machetes are swords.
Yeah, I had a sword pulled on me on my mission.
You did?
Yeah.
Like literal,
Like King Arthur's sword,
Did it
which was so bizarre because in
Oh
the
my
Philippines, they all have like machetes
Yeah.
everywhere. And we go to this like bamboo hut. I'm on splits, which is like where missionaries kind of trade companions. So you can see how the other
sounds kinky.
missionaries doing or whatever. And we go to this house. I was interviewing for a baptism. I was a district leader. So you like go and interview people like to be baptized. So the elder's like, we're going to interview this guy. We go to his door and he like wouldn't come to the door. You can see right in people's houses. And he's like, hey, we're here for your interview. And the guy was like ignoring us. And I was like, oh, this is weird. And like the elder I was with like kept bugging him or whatever, like, hey, sorry, like, do we need to go? And he's like, yeah, you need to go. And I was like, I guess we better go, elder. And he was like not having it because it was like way weird. It was like they had an appointment, like this guy's getting baptized. Anyway, the guy finally went in the other room.
Whether he likes it or not.
Yeah. Anyway, the guy went in the other room, came out holding like King Arthur's metal sword,
What?
like shining and gleaming. And I was like, where did you get that? Like,
That's
and
cool.
The,
Like I just pulled it from a stone.
the elder I was with was still like in shock. Like he did not understand what was going on. And I finally like grabbed his arm. I was like, "We gotta go, dude."
Yeah.
Like,
Which,
so
case in
Scary.
point as to why return missionaries are such good door-to-door salesmen.
Even when
Even when they
sword
pull a
point-
sword out on them.
that's why they sell so many alarms.
But listen, we do pest control.
Yeah.
I'd like to sign you up for a
I
service.
just don't think you're understanding. Well, it would be weird. It would be like somebody agreeing to get pest control
Yeah, I
and
know,
being like,
yeah.
come back. And they've already signed I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's like, yes, we would like to move forward. Please come back and with the appropriate terminals or whatever.
yeah.
And you
But-
come back and it's like, just kidding, I'm King Arthur.
Yeah. So I felt bad for him. But the whole time we were walking away, I was just like, where did that sword come from?
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like it in my
That's
whole
so
mission.
funny.
So
That's
It's
crazy.
his prized
Anyway.
possession.
yeah.
Yeah. My stepbrother collects swords, and he's got a bunch of really cool ones.
Like katanas or like King Arthur, like old timey.
I don't know. You let.
Oh, that's
you
right. You're a
lost me,
girl. I
Katana.
forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for a second there, I forgot.
Sexist.
I know. That's it.
Girls don't know the
I'm never
difference between
hosting
a
again.
katana and a freaking
Samurai?
machete. Do you? See? I'm not even being sexist. It's just a thing. It's just a thing.
If you go to Comic Con or
Uh-huh.
FanX,
Oh, there's going to be some girls.
every girl there is going to know.
Okay, I was gonna say my sisters know. Can I phone a friend?
Who wants to
I don't
be
know. They
a
look cool.
millionaire?
They look. Some of them look medieval. He's got a variety, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure he's got
Yeah.
all the
Katanas.
kinds you talked about.
He sounds like a collector.
All the types
all
of swords
the
you
types
mentioned.
of swords that you were saying.
All the swords, all the sorting, all the
All of it.
swordness.
Well, in Amber's defense, I
Please defend
probably
me.
only would know what a katana was and all other swords.
what?
What is
that's
a
it.
katana?
They're like Japanese swords that are like kind of curved.
Oh,
they're
okay.
not.
Really,
Oh,
That's a
yes.
Katanas?
Okay, I feel
A
so
katana,
much
yeah.
better right
It's like
now.
Samurai.
a single blade. It's like one side of it's sharp. It's a Japanese. A lot
It's
of times
kind of
it's-
curved.
That is what he
That's
said.
just what I said.
Well, it's not curved.
Is it a
it's
samurai?
like the edge goes here and it comes to a point.
No, the blade is curved.
I'm gonna chop your nuts off with a freaking katana.
How
Listen,
much? How much will
listen.
you give me when you find out
think
they're
back
curved?
to playing
I have-
Grand Theft Auto.
I am 0 for
You
1.
will run around with the katana and chop people's heads off.
Yeah.
What did that sword look like?
Think about
It
who
was
has a
slightly
katana.
curved.
Kill Bill.
Who
No,
has-
Tom
My
Cruise.
brother-in-law,
Yeah, Amber's
Kill
brother-in-law
Bill.
does.
Riverton.
If you
man.
see
And Kill Bill.
Yeah, Kill Bill.
That's a curved blade.
We could have figured the answer out to this like 10 minutes ago.
It is slightly curved.
See?
That's what
We didn't want to know that. Okay.
It's curved the wrong. By the way, it's curved the wrong way. Sorry, sorry, everyone.
just turn it upside down.
No, I thought you were talking about like the like the Middle Eastern swords. What are
Oh,
those
yeah.
called?
Well, a scimitar. I guess I do know more.
Wow.
than
Yeah, you really do. Good job, Phil. I know nothing
that's-
about swords.
That's a scimitar.
Well, I just couldn't think of any other
Yeah.
names for swords.
See, that's what I thought you were talking about. It's like a.
What angle was it sharpened at?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the big curved like
Pirate
that.
wow.
sword.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
those are cool.
Yeah, you get those from Aladdin.
Yeah, that's an Aladdin
Well,
sword.
unfortunately, it does not say what type of sword this man was wielding.
No, it doesn't.
Yielding.
But
Wielding?
it was a sword.
But it was a sword.
Wielding is right.
Wielding,
I
yeah.
almost guarantee it was a katana because that seems like the most common.
Like generic.
Or samurai
sword
sword.
that
People
people have.
collect samurai.
That's what a
swords.
katana
Yeah.
is.
Is it the same thing?
What
Yeah.
about, Kate, are the medieval ones that, like the ones that you'd see in the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, that. See, I don't
What
know
is
what
that called?
name that has. I just call that a sword,
sword?
like a
Medieval
King
knight's
Arthur sword.
a
Medieval.
knight's sword or a
A knight's
medieval
sword.
sword.
Okay.
A
Oh,
cool
What is
sword.
a knight's sword
Called
called?
a buster.
We call him Steve. It says.
Oh.
No. Called an
Just
armoring
what?
sword
An
or
armoring-
a long sword.
A long sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. This is informative.
This is one of those memes you see where it's like he's probably out cheating on me, and we're all like, "Hey,
Yeah.
is it a long sword or was it a machete?"
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
That's what Phil always
It was
says.
like that guy that shot that guy in the city. the insurance guy or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, what kind of gun is that? Why did he do that?
Did he get jammed? Looked like he.
Yeah.
Well, it was an interesting looking gun. It had the silencer on it.
Yeah.
I felt like it was worth discussing.
So this article didn't mention the relationship between.
It didn't. It was a little bit.
Just kind of implied that there was.
Yeah, there was victim 1, victim
relation
2.
of some sort.
Yeah, but I mean, if the woman was standing in front of him trying to protect him,
It's probably just foreplay of some sort. And
Some kind of cop kink? What are you talking about?
no, well, someone called for a domestic dispute, probably a neighbor, but it was just all fun and
it
play.
was just
Yeah,
all
I see what
fun
you're
and
saying.
play.
And so she used her seductive.
She used her phone a friend.
No, she used her body to get and to defend the police officer.
I don't know where you're going, Jim.
I've had people tell me that they've had the police called on them, like just for regular things, like they had
Just
friends
yelling.
over.
Oh,
yeah,
friends over.
just like
Oh,
being
yeah.
loud and
I've had
Wielding swords.
yeah.
Yeah, sword.
Yeah.
So maybe that was it. And then the cop showed up and they were like really mad that they did and took the sword out. I don't know.
Shot him. Just
Yeah.
you
Shot
wasted
him.
our time.
Yeah, swords are
We're
crazy.
playing Dungeons and Dragons.
It's weird because if you're going to kill someone, I feel like a sword hinders you.
Unless you're
It
good
might have
with
just been the only thing available.
Yeah.
Like I'm guessing there was a very emotional moment
it.
going on.
Could have been just a fencing.
I guess
sword.
it is longer.
What is that?
Well,
I
with
could
the
just,
mental health
poke
issues-
Jake.
You could if it was a long sword. Yeah,
Because if I had a knife,
With
I'd
a
have to
long
get
sword.
in closer and you could like
grab it,
grab
your
me
wrist,
Yeah.
or
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and they're heavy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
That's what I mean.
What
It's
a-
like seems like an awkward weapon. It's like in the old days, you were out in the open,
It's easier to get a sword though.
marching
than
toward
Yeah.
each other.
it's a weapon of what's that called? Like it wasn't
Mass
minimum
premeditated.
destruction.
No, like it wasn't premeditated. A weapon of opportunity.
Oh.
Oh, there you go. That's an
Okay.
Yeah,
interesting term.
I just made it up.
Oh,
It sounded good, right?
yeah. It did sound good. A weapon of opportunity.
Okay, nationwide news. Here we go. It was the greatest inauguration. Some say I was the best ever to be inaugurated. In all of inaugurating, it was a terrific inauguration.
Is that, please say that's a quote.
No, that
Oh, dang it.
I was going to say,
It
please
could've
tell me,
been.
please say that's your impression of Joe Biden.
I know. I was going to ask you to do it because you're stellar. At
Oh,
the-
whatever.
It was
I
good.
mean,
It was a good. I really. It was good enough that I was like, "This is what Trump said, isn't it?"
Yeah.
ever to be inaugurated in all of inaugurating.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So just we're gonna have open discussion about the inauguration. Did y'all watch it?
I think I watched some of it. I didn't
Okay.
like watch the whole thing.
So did you see that it was in the rotunda, not outside?
it was
Yeah.
inside. They
So,
moved it
yeah.
inside.
Because it was too cold.
Because it was too cold, or because Trump didn't want to be in front of a half-mast.
Oh yeah.
Flag.
Flag.
Or he didn't
Just
want to be
kidding.
embarrassed that his crowd size would be smaller than Biden's or Obama's or something.
Or
Didn't want to
he
be
didn't want to get
assassinated.
shot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or there were drones. You know,
Speaking of
lots of
drones,
speculation.
I think one landed on Melania Trump's head.
I know her hat choice. That was just.
I think she was hungover.
Oh, maybe.
No, but
She
I
tried
really
to be classy. I feel like Jackie Kennedy, and it just was like you couldn't see her eyes. I feel like it was very, just made it her not welcoming.
Almost like
saucer.
it was almost like military,
Yeah,
it was so weird.
just really low over her eyes.
I think they were fighting. That's why he wouldn't even put the hand on the Bible.
I don't think she's
She's like,
happy.
here you go, and he wouldn't
none
even.
of them are probably.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama didn't even come. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, she
well,
said
you
she
can
wasn't
say
gonna
that.
be
again.
oh,
It's definitely.
Walked right into that one.
yeah.
So, did you guys see the funeral of Jimmy
Oh,
Carter,
yeah.
where
Mhm.
like Obama and Trump are like best friends,
Chatting it up.
and then the Bushes are sitting next to them, and then the Clintons come in, and nobody says hi to him.
Yeah.
To
Like,
the Clintons?
yeah, it's
Really?
like the Bushes didn't. Obama didn't even look at him. It was like it was pretty
Nuh-uh.
bizarre.
See, I want to know what their real relationship is behind the scenes. Like,
Well,
It would just be interesting to know.
So I was telling these guys before you showed up like 3 hours late, Phil, but so I watched the inauguration speech, then he went into some other room, I listened to that speech, and then he signed a bunch of executive orders. And while he was signing the executive orders, he was being asked a lot of questions. And one of the questions that came up was, hey, we noticed that you were pretty chatty with Obama, blah, blah, blah. And he asked about what they were talking about, and he kind of kept it, oh, I'm sure you'd like to know. And it was a very friendly conversation, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't saying what it was. But he was also asked in that, what politician or what existing presidents does he get along with or like? He's like, that's an interesting question. Like, and he said Clinton.
Really?
Who did?
Trump. Out of all the politicians or all the presidents, he's like, who do you get along with the best or something like that? Some kind of question. And he said, actually, Clinton. Bill's really smart. I think he was very underrated, and I think he's
wow.
He's like, he told me, or he said in this end, he goes, Bill was trying to get Hillary to travel to the states that she ended up losing when I ran against her. And he was very smart. If she would have listened to him, there's a chance I might have not made it. Something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting.
I do wonder though, because sometimes Trump will say things like, I don't know if facetious is the right word, but but where he's like he's like making fun of them almost.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if he would say, Bill, I love Bill because Bill, if they'd have listened to Bill, they would have won the election. You know what I mean? Like kind of jabbing him. And so I wondered that.
You should listen to that Q&A.
See, when I watch them together, I just picture them like smiling and laughing, but really being like, you're a piece of shit.
Oh, Trump and Obama? Yeah. That's what I thought too, but it seemed genuine. Like you can't hear what they're saying, but
it did
let me pull it up here. It's just like Obama looked like he was having a good time.
So they had lip reading experts look at this, and every one of those videos I saw, I was like, they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I love how Bush always just looks like a small child, like just happy to be there.
Did you see all the memes? They had so many memes about with George Bush.
So here's where the Clintons are coming in. Okay, Bush does stand up, but look, he's like not even looking at her. He's just like, or maybe he feels like slighted by her because she went to like this nobody behind him.
You should have seen.
And then he sits down. Look, they're like, they don't even say hi. Yeah. She's sitting right next to the former president, and it's just like cold shoulder.
Yeah.
And Obama and Trump over there are just like having a good time.
Yeah. Well, because his wife's not there.
Obama's?
Yeah.
Michelle.
Obama's like, Michelle's
I don't know. But wasn't that exchange bizarre? Like, the Clintons and the Bushes, I didn't think were enemies.
You know what I thought was funny? George Bush walked in. George is such a goofball.
Look at George.
He's like waving at someone else.
He always looks
but he was walking in and he slapped one of them in the stomach.
Really?
Yeah, like, hey bud, what's going on? I can't remember who it was.
It was probably Melania. He's just like,
what's up, baby?
It's just I thought this was bizarre, that whole thing. And just to see like Trump and Obama over there.
I will go on. I truly think Melania is completely unhappy about this presidency.
Well, look, she has like no expression whatsoever, ever. Like, I feel like she just looks like a robot.
It's a weird position to be in because she is married to like the most hated man on earth. Like,
except for half of America.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
what kind of statement was that, Phil?
He's
tell me what you really mean.
He's got to be the most hated politician by his own country. I'm not saying in general, like,
he just became president. How could you even say that?
I'm saying not the majority.
He's the most persecuted.
But the more people in America hate Trump, probably as a percentage, than any other country hates their leader. If that makes sense.
I don't think so.
Oh, you think
I think a very small amount of people are extremely loud.
Justin Trudeau might be up there.
Maybe.
Trudeau's the worst.
I don't know, because I wondered that too. Melania, what was the Bible thing? He's supposed to put his hand on the Bible,
and he didn't.
Yeah, he hands at the side, and Melania's like she holds it out a couple times, so that's why I was like, maybe they're fighting.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Well, I kind of think like, I don't know, if they weren't in the public eye like they are, that they'd probably gotten divorced. Like the Clintons, I feel like they for sure probably would have. during all of that stuff. But
Yeah.
it looks better politically to stay together. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually one of the reasons I didn't like Hillary so much. Maybe that's a weird, like, almost sexist thing of me, but I'm
is it
like,
because she did stay or
yeah,
what?
exactly. Like, it's like you were so publicly humiliated.
To the best of my ability,
See, she's holding the Bible there.
Yeah.
protect and defend.
Yeah, the hat was a bad idea.
Oh, that's a different hat, though. Oh no, wait, who is that? That's his
not her.
That's his
daughter.
daughter.
His daughter, Ivanka.
By the way, the blonde one right there, that's his daughter.
In the
middle?
And the side hat, the beret.
the one looking like an.
Who's
but
the
you can
blonde?
see Melania.
We don't
To
know.
his
Oh,
left.
is that maybe Biden? No, I don't know who that is.
To the right.
To the right of Trump.
Long-haired
Between-
blonde.
Ivanka?
I think
and
that's
like
his
Biden.
other daughter.
Who's Trump's?
Yeah,
Because-
her name is something.
Because Biden makes a move on her.
Oh, does he?
If you can watch this,
He smells
He
her
smells
neck.
her.
No,
Yeah.
he tries
It's
to
always
touch.
so cringy.
Oh, I paused it.
Any-
Now it's not going to work. Oh, there it goes. Oh, straight to cannons. Oh, this is a different video. Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, so I thought that was weird. Like you can see right there, his hand is down at his side. And I mean, if a president doesn't want to put his hand on the Bible, I
But
don't care. But he was like, let me hold a Bible while in front of the church while people are protesting. I don't know.
Yeah,
Seems
well,
weird.
he's been very. Doesn't he promote that he's Christian? Like
Yeah,
He
well,
goes to church, I think.
he's been very God-fearing, at least since the assassination
since the
attempt.
assassination.
He said, I mean, he said in the speech, God spared my life.
Yeah.
yeah.
God saved me so that I could save America.
See, that is one thing I didn't like about Trump from the beginning is how he was like suddenly religious when his whole
Yeah.
business career of like grabbing women by the
Yeah,
whatever it was
for
like,
sure. It
so-
definitely felt like a PR move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't know. So
Do
that's
they,
why
do
I
they
was
say
like,
put your hand on the Bible, or is it implied that you should? 'Cause I didn't watch the very
actually don't
beginning of
know.
it.
I assumed that they did, but I noticed that like when you swear in court, they give you the option to put your hand on the Bible.
Mm.
So that makes sense, I guess. The president would have the option.
Maybe he might not have been told, but that's weird that he wouldn't. 'Cause
What
they
did-
always, they
What
usually
did he
do.
do last time? I don't know. It doesn't
I
matter.
feel like he.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have an image of my mind of him doing it, but
Yeah.
I could have just made. The
I heard he downloaded the Bible app and he was just pulling his
Oh, yeah.
in his pocket.
Or he had a
in his
miniature
pocket.
Bible in his pocket.
Yeah.
He had his
He's
hand
got
on.
to stay with the times. Stay
He
with
doesn't
the
want to be
times.
poisoned by someone's Bible
Yeah,
poison.
you don't want to touch the freaking gross Bible.
I heard that Carrie Underwood not threw a big fit.
Oh, about the
After-
well, the
stuff
music
not working. The music not
their
working.
music
There was
was
a
supposed
big-
to play, but it
I
didn't.
guess her
was
music
like a
didn't
2-minute
play,
pause.
and she felt slighted because she had to like stand with everyone else instead of being like up higher on a stage. That's just the rumor.
There was a big gap between Carrie Underwood
Yeah.
to the music starting.
Well, she waited for a while. Yeah,
There's a big gap, and I was like, what are they doing? Like scratching their knees?
yeah. Everyone was just waiting. It was a
It
little
does
strange.
take a long time.
I
to
actually
do.
thought it was cool because it was like the performer is just like standing with everyone.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
she
but-
sounded great.
Yeah.
she did sound really good.
She's a little pitchy at first,
Acapella.
and then she just rocked it.
Wow, Phil.
And
Wow. Yeah.
Phil's a professional. He can say that.
see, there you go. But yeah, I thought that was good. I don't know. I thought it was pretty like straightforward inauguration.
Yeah, I think so too.
Nobody
Yeah.
died. No one stormed the Capitol.
I will say
Yeah.
he said
Yeah.
some things in that speech though that I'm like, man, Biden and those anyone there has got to be cringing.
Yeah, he's
there's
pretty
also-
much
Oh,
undoing. No, you go.
And there's also a bunch of claps of things that he said that I'm like, does everyone in this room really agree? Because everyone was clapping. It was like, we're only going to recognize 2 genders. And everyone's like, woo! And you're like, what?
That was kind of out of left field. I
That
thought.
was some of the stuff I was like, holy cow.
But
Yeah.
the things he said didn't shock me because I'm like, it's Trump.
Yeah.
Right.
But then the whole room clapping after, I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Clintons are out there and like, all these people are out there that are just, I guess they just clapped at everything.
Well,
just to
I
be
think
nice.
Some
I
people didn't clap. They like Biden and
Well, he's got-
Kamala.
yeah.
They didn't clap when he was doing some of the stuff.
Well, and I think they stacked the room with Republicans because I
Probably.
think they were saying that like normally a bunch of Democratic senators were there, but they replaced them with like Republican.
Alex Jones.
Oh no, it was all the billionaires like
Oh, yeah.
Elon and all those people took the place
Mark
of like
Zuckerberg was there.
Zuckerberg
Oh,
took the place of normally Democrats or whatever. So they probably
Let's be
stacked
honest.
it
I
up,
mean,
but-
Zuckerberg was Democrat, right?
I think
And
he
so was Elon.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
so was
he was,
all
but
the
he
other-
sounds pretty. Did you listen to his Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy seems like he flips like a pancake.
Oh yeah.
Oh, next 4 years of my expansion? Absolutely.
Right.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We were
We're
held hostage.
now we don't want to silence people, and we want free speech.
Yep.
Well, I've thought it might be that, but even like Tim Cook donated to Trump's inauguration.
Oh, really?
Who is the CEO of Apple?
Yeah.
And I have thought at least a lot of them, like Zuckerberg talking, and a lot of these people that have been coming out, I think
Wait,
were
Zuckerberg's gay?
no.
Oh.
I think they're coming out kind of against Biden's presidency because it did get kind of crazy. Like
Yeah.
They know that
Like-
it was hard.
like-
Every big, large business owner knows that it was tough.
Well, not
the
just-
economy was tough.
Well,
at
not
the
just
time.
not just the economy, but specifically they were like requested to do like censorship things,
Sure, yeah.
like and Zuckerberg actually brought up that banking thing that we were talking about before, where not Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren is on this like banking committee that can just like pressure companies into this compliance in a weird way. It was like they've all kind of like said something about that. So that might be why. Like because I agree. I do feel like whatever's popular at the moment, businesses will do. You know what I mean? They're not really like taking a stand. They're like, what's going to make us money?
Yeah.
Right.
So, but it does seem like there is a like, well, let's make money, but this might also be illegal or like unconstitutional or whatever.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know.
Well, and then he comes, straight out the gate with all the executive orders.
hmm
What were some of the ones that you guys thought were like the craziest, I guess? Like him pardoning all of the people from January 6th. I just think it's crazy that he did just a blanket pardon pretty much out over all of them.
Well, and to my understanding, it was like about 1,000 of the 1,500 that he actually pardoned, but they say that included people who assaulted police officers.
Yeah, and like some of the leaders of the group too,
Right.
like the extremists, which just seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised at how heavy-handed that was, particularly the ones where they assault police officers. But it's hard to say without like seeing the cases. But I know he didn't see all those cases.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like,
saying. Like, I feel like it needed to be just dove into a little bit more instead of just being like everyone gets a flat pardon.
Yeah.
Like,
But- Here's another side of it, though, is that how can you look at the events that took place and like how many officers were assaulted, and to know that there's over 1,000 people
Yeah.
in jail? That's a lot of people.
yeah,
1,000?
yeah,
Yeah.
So you're telling me 1,000 people broke the law so badly that they've been in jail for 4 years?
yeah,
Yeah.
That seems a little overboard.
yeah. I don't think that it is one. There's like one right answer for it. I don't.
Yeah,
think,
it's somewhere
like,
in between, obviously.
Didn't Biden do pardon of the January 6th committee?
Yep.
Wasn't there? It seems like
Yeah, why is no one talking about that? That
Yeah.
seems
seems like
weird.
they're just like playing pardon tennis.
Well,
Seriously.
wait. So let's get to that, but because I want to answer Amber's question, what was the craziest executive order? And I think by far it was the birther thing.
the birthright citizenship.
Birthright citizenship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's part of the
That is
Constitution.
interesting.
Part of
is
the,
it?
Isn't
It is. It's
Yeah.
it's the 14th Amendment. So, it is part of the Constitution.
Yeah, and
Really?
even if it wasn't, the president shouldn't have authority to.
So what
just
was
say,
the nature of that pardon?
No, it wasn't a pardon.
The executive order.
So he said that he's ending birthright citizenship. So like if an
illegal immigrant comes and has a baby,
right, then their baby is not a citizen.
Yeah.
Which I do understand
no
the
more anchor
like.
babies.
Yeah.
I understand from the point of like immigration that's a problem. Like it's a problem if a mother wants to just like come here and then her child is a citizen, so now she gets like all these benefits or whatever. Like, but I mean, how else do you define a citizen of the United States? Like,
Yeah. I feel like,
It's like-
that
Right.
that whole issue is so messy, especially to where it is now. Like, how do you even go about detangling all of that?
yeah,
Like,
A lot of his stuff might get challenged and overthrown.
oh yeah. I don't even think, I feel like a lot of his stuff is like just a big Trump move of power play, and
Yeah.
whether or not it actually makes it down into really
Yeah.
changing things.
Unfortunately, it's not just a Trump play. Every president does this. They step in and do all kinds of weird stuff.
They want to come in and make a bold,
Yeah.
make a bold statement.
yeah,
But with the whole birthright thing, it's interesting. It is like, how else do you just, like you said, how else do you define an American citizen other than somebody who's born in the country, right?
yeah. And I know people who like whose grandmother did that, came to America to have her baby, and now there are generations of people that like live here and like revere grandmother for like this huge sacrifice, like swimming across the Rio
Yeah.
or whatever, like, and like because of that, their families like had a better life and everything.
100%.
And if I were a pregnant woman on the other side of the Mexican border,
yeah.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
And
Anchor baby.
yeah.
That's what they call them.
So I don't know. That's when I guess I heavily disagree with. I understand like what they're going for, but it's like, I don't know. That person being born here isn't any different from me being born here. Like
It is, though.
How?
I'll tell you how.
Okay.
Because how do you take, let's say, a Canadian couple,
Uh-huh.
right?
Okay.
Because
I see where this is
that's how
going.
I'm going to be a little more less triggering for people.
Mhm.
If there's two families that have been in Canada for the last 6 generations,
Yeah.
and they're like, screw this, the lady's 8.5 months pregnant, goes across the border, walks into an emergency room, and they cannot refuse you,
Yeah.
like medical care. They deliver the baby. Now that baby's an American citizen,
Right.
right? Then what?
You're now dual citizen. As
Are
parents?
they? Is that baby actually a citizen? Like, or are they Canadian?
Well, I
They
think,
just walked across the border the last month of their pregnancy, and now the child was born in America. Are they Canadian or are they American?
well, they're American because one,
Or the baby?
the baby,
But the baby can't care for himself, so he's going to be raised.
but they
by-
are issued a birth certificate,
Mhm.
which is literally what defines a person in our country
Yeah.
based on the Water Maritime
Admiralty law.
Admiralty of
I
1742.
am not the capitalized Jeffrey Draper that you and
Yeah. No, but isn't like document, like if a baby is born, they have to issue like a birth certificate, and that's what you need to like get a social security number. I don't know. How would you go around that?
Well, here's what I'm getting at. I don't necessarily agree with one way or the other. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that's the other side. I know there's weirdness about it.
Yeah.
I can 100% say though, I think we're the only country that does that.
Yeah. Naturalized citizen.
Mhm.
How do other people define it?
If you're from Jordan and you go to Morocco, I'm making things up. I don't know what geography. And you're born in Morocco, your child's Jordanian.
Yeah.
You're not Moroccan. You're not from Morocco.
But like
You're
how
from
long?
Jordan.
But how long did you live in Jordan? Like, what if you lived in Jordan 2 years? The 2 years before that, you lived in Syria. The year before that,
It's where you're from.
That's your
It's like
citizenship.
your
It's
where
citizenship.
you were born,
It's where your parents are from. It's where your citizenship.
where they were born.
It's where your citizenship of your parents. So if your parents are Moroccan and they move to Canada and they become Canadians, and you have a child while they're Canadians, they're Canadian.
Yeah,
It's oversimplifying it. I know, believe me. But one thing I do know is that because of this law, it is breeding a practice of people throwing anchor babies into America.
yeah.
And I'm not even saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it is a thing. And if it's causing problems, like I don't even know if it is.
That's
I
the
actually
thing.
know-
I don't know, like, of the illegal immigration that happens. That's what I'd be curious to know is how much is even that.
Well, it is hard to know because I feel like Trump only paints it as the only immigrants that are here are drug lords and mentally unstable people. And I think that's why there is this urgency to do something drastic.
Yeah. Well, and it probably come off making more sense, and maybe it did, like in the thing that he signed. If he was like, there's a national emergency of like too much immigration, and because of that, we're putting a temporary halt.
Yes, something
on,
like that.
from this date forward.
That is instead of, that like causes so much fear and so much like chaos.
Right.
But something like that feels a little bit more thought out and a little bit more.
I actually think the fear and chaos is they want that.
Yeah,
And the reason they
do.
want that is because they've openly said this too. People will self-deport.
Yeah.
And if they're scared and worried about being deported, they will just move back.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think they're relying on that pretty heavily.
and maybe it is like you said. Maybe it's kind of like the Biden forgiving student loans. Biden knew he didn't have authority to do that.
Yeah.
He knew it would be overturned.
Yeah.
But it's like not a PR thing. It's like a political thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're going to love me because I tried to do it.
Mhm.
Even though I know I have no authority to do it. Trump might be doing the same thing, being like, I know I can't do this. They're going to overturn it. But if some people think it's actually going through, maybe they won't try and cross
I know
the
that
border.
people in my party
Like-
want something like this, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna.
Well, I'm
don't
saying
feel
maybe
to
it
that.
is an actual deterrent. Maybe he is thinking people in Mexico, fewer will come over because they think just because I said it, it's actually a thing. I don't know.
Now, one thing
But-
that I'm having a hard, that's part of the immigration thing and a lot of it I don't like. I really don't. But one of them that I can agree with, one thing that I'm like, okay, well, that's actually good, is that they're targeting the criminals. And apparently there's
Yeah.
already been over 300 deported back to their countries that were either in jail, prison, or on some sort of program where they knew where they were, but they were actually criminals that have committed crimes.
Yeah, see,
You know what I mean?
and I go back and forth on this one too because everyone's like, deport the criminals, but that might actually be the least effective thing to do because we're like, why would we put these criminals in prison and pay for it here? But the alternative might be you deport them and they're back
And they come back.
next week. They go right through the same tunnel that they went before, and now they're on the street. So it's literally the same as just letting them go.
Yeah. But then you've got problems like Chicago's a sanctuary city, and so people flood there.
Yeah.
And a lot of criminals flood there too. Look at Chicago's crime rate; it's insane. They need
Yeah.
to get all the criminals out of there that they possibly can. I'm not even talking about an immigration situation. I mean, just in general, they're just
Yeah. Well,
You know what they say about Chicago? You go for the food and you stay because you got murdered.
I was gonna say you stay for the bullets or something like that,
I'm gonna stitch that on a pillow.
and you stay in
You
the
stay
ground.
for the burial.
I get
A
it.
guy from Chicago told me that.
So no, that one jumped out to me the most. And then what was the other
Oh, here's
executive order?
my favorite, most ridiculous one, which I don't know if this is an executive order, but he promised we're going to rename the Gulf of
Yeah.
Mexico to the Gulf of America.
What on earth
Yeah.
was that?
I don't
Yeah.
know what that
I saw
is.
Bill Clinton be like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Or it was either
It
that or
was-
Hillary.
And
Hillary.
yeah, I think it was both of the Clintons.
Looks just kind of like, oh,
No, wasn't there another one that was like, we're gonna rename
Mount McKinley.
Mount
Yeah.
McKinley? That was bizarre.
What is that? What I heard this and I don't understand
I
it.
didn't know. We
Isn't
changed
that the
Mount
one that's
McKinley's
Denali?
name.
Is that the one that
Did we
it
go
was
McKinley
Denali
to
now?
Denali?
I like Denali better. It was like a cooler sounding mountain.
It's a GMC.
I think it was Denali.
Let's swap him. It'll be the GMC McKinley.
But again, I don't think the president can rename mountains.
Of course he can.
That's the thing.
He's not the president. He's Trump.
Seriously, that's a better
Yeah.
He's gonna.
description.
I'm gonna change all the maps in all the elementary schools.
Like,
It is Denali.
well, when they were,
Yep,
I
it is.
was watching an interview where they were talking about the birthright citizenship, and the lady was like, it's in the Constitution, like, how are you planning on changing? And he was just like, we're just gonna have to change it. Like, I'm Trump, we're just gonna have to change it.
There were a few.
We can do it.
His
It's gonna be the best.
little press conference while he was signing all that stuff was so Trump. He had this freaking guy standing next to him who's probably a genius. I have no freaking idea who he is,
Yeah.
but he was a very much yes, sir. So this one is and yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir. Like just this doofus.
Yeah.
He kind of seemed like a doofus, and he's just answering questions, and he would. Anyway, some of the questions he was answering, I'm just like, oh my god, Trump. It is so funny to listen to him. I'm not really giving a good example, but
Oh, okay.
I'll just cut that all out. No, I had one on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember it.
You
now.
know what I think is funny though is like when they sign things, it's
Mhm.
like a $1,500 folder that they have you ever seen
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and the pages are like so ornately printed like I'm like, dude, they spent so I hope Elon Musk goes in and is like, we can use this $200 printer, you know, it's like
Yeah.
half blurred out because it prints so crappily. Like, what do you
Yeah.
need some
And why do they
fancy-
use a different pen for every?
Oh, do
Oh,
they?
he
I
used
think
a
they use a
different.
different pen
Because
for
it's
Or
every
more
was
website.
expensive.
Well, he was chucking them out to the crowd,
Yeah, it was
like,
like-
they were like,
Like he's a guitarist throwing
Yeah.
his picks to the.
Yeah, they're like giving them to the people. Like, don't you want the pen that this bill was signed? It's like I guarantee all these bills he's signing are like going into the National Archives to never be seen again.
yeah,
We spent $1,500 per page. Like,
just to show.
cut it out, Elon. Get in there and
I want to know what
Speaking-
pens those are. They looked pretty cool.
what pencils?
The pen that
The
he used to
pen.
sign. They
I'm
look
sure-
like super fancy Sharpies or something.
You know what I'd be really mad about is if they're not made in America, which they're probably not.
That's hilarious.
No,
They're made in the Gulf of Mexico.
$1,500 pen made in the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
So I did remember the thing that I was going to say.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
do
okay.
it.
It was just I've noticed that Trump he gets in these modes where he's like trying to be very profound.
Yeah.
So he's signing this thing and he kind of stops and someone asks him about Russia and he just kind of looks and he's like, well, you know, if I was in office, it never would have happened.
Oh, really?
This never would have happened. Never. No, never. And he just kind of trails off into this like, yeah,
Mm.
no.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't see that, but I wonder if that's telling.
Oh, he
of,
said
like-
that more than once.
Well, I know that, but you would think that on that day he would be like, "Oh, that's my first priority." But if he's just kind of like trailing off, I wonder if it's like he's already called him and it's like, "Uh-oh." It's like,
No,
this isn't going to be an easy fix.
No, his actual message to the person asking the question was like, you know, we got some things happening, but I think what I'm trying to get at is just sometimes he answers questions very like he's so profound and like trying to make an
he's
impact.
just super arrogant.
Yeah, it's just
Wouldn't
I
have
got
happened if they just elected me, but
be-
because of that what does he say? The steel, because of that steel, Russia invaded and North Korea hates our guts. We're the worst country. Everyone thinks we're seriously the
But
worst country.
that's the normal. That's the normal Trump. I'm talking about the one that goes like, yeah, North Korea, we got along great.
Yeah.
He thought I was great. He was great. It's just
Thought
great.
I was
He
great.
gets all
We were
kind of quiet
seriously
and
the
profound.
best friends.
It's just good. It's great.
He's
Yeah.
so narcy.
Yeah. It is like the
Say
most
arrogant.
narcissistic person
Gross.
ever.
So he's so hot.
Which
He's
I've
so
actually,
hot right
which
now.
I've
so hot right now.
everyone says that is like everyone says that's like an irredeemable quality about him. I actually think that in some cases, and particularly with Trump, extreme narcissism can work. Like with North Korea.
Oh,
North Korea is is a situation that no president has even come close to touching. But Trump was like,
Let's go over there.
Yeah.
He was able to
let's-
wiggle his way into it
Exactly.
without batting an eye.
yeah, he just like, hey, you want to be friends? Like, I bet pictures would be great if we were like photographed shaking hands. And the other guy was like, yeah, that would be great. I'd be the first North Korean dictator to shake a American president's hand. And he's like a celebrity. And they're both just like, yeah, dude. And they get together. They're best friends.
And they get together.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Amber.
No, I like it.
What was the other
Please.
thing, though? We were saying executive orders, but then we got onto another thing that he was
Border?
doing. No, it was another.
Mount McKinley.
It was another like category of things he was doing.
Gender?
Yeah, the
No, you're saying it was executive orders, but there's something else he was doing.
Because we kind of got into it, and then I was like, no, wait, I want to talk about executive orders. Sorry.
You
oh
better be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should
better
totally
be.
be. Sorry.
It seemed like a good other thing,
avenue.
though. Yeah.
Well, there's
I'm
no.
trying to
It's this isn't recorded, so
Yeah.
there's no way of going back, and we'll never know. We'll never know.
Never know what it was.
And no one will ever tell us.
Yep.
Sorry, Amber.
Maybe you were going to bring up
No,
how
I don't-
freakishly tall Baron Trump is.
Right?
Oh, have you
No,
seen
it's
the
really tall.
memes?
He's 6'9".
They're so great. They have memes of like them walking in and they look regular, and then they have him walking behind looking like a giant, like a literal giant, like walking.
He's like 30 feet
The
tall.
memes are pretty great
That's funny.
around this. Anyway,
4 more years of
4
hilarity.
more years.
Yeah,
I think
I-
it's
Lower
gonna be
gas
wild.
prices. You know,
It's gonna be terrible.
I hope Jake's right.
Oh yeah, the oil. That was another thing.
Drill, baby.
Drill, baby, drill.
We're
Coming
going to
Alaska.
drill, baby, drill. And everyone
So-
clapped the loudest for that one. Did you remember that? Everyone was
Yeah.
like on their feet.
Yep.
Drill, drill, drill.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
people are going to be, other countries are going to be wanting our oil.
yeah.
It's the dirtiest oil. It makes you really dirty. I don't know what he
It'd be the
what does he
most
say?
beautiful oil.
The most beautiful.
The world.
Liquid gold.
Mhm.
Yeah, that liquid gold.
Yeah, I don't know. I worry. I'm worried about our economy. Like Trump's in, he says he's going to fix it, but seems like something's weird's coming. Maybe that's just a weird paranoia I have.
No, it feels weird. Like
Yeah,
there's like
yeah.
an anxious energy
We need to buy more chickens.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Buy more
eggs are like
chickens.
crazy expensive right now.
Yeah, the bird flu. or
The
something.
avian flu, yeah. So eggs are really expensive.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I bought
Yep.
18 for $8.
Don't you have chickens?
Yeah, what
Seven
happened to your
and a half.
chickens?
Are they not
They
laying
haven't
right
laid in a
now?
while.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
I understand how they feel. What?
You,
What?
laid.
Wait, is Colleen gone?
No, she's
Oh,
here.
Okay, good.
But still-
But I still know how they
But
feel.
I don't even
But she
want to
was
know
gone.
what that is metaphorical for.
I haven't
Okay.
laid an egg for years.
Okay. So, any other executive orders that we want to talk about?
No,
Okay.
no.
great. So,
Skip
straight
'em all.
to jail in Germany. Elon Musk.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Hail
I know.
Hitlering twice, sir.
I need
Like-
an explanation for that.
Well, it's just like,
Tell me
When-
it's a South African greeting, please.
well, when you see the comments too, like some people are like, well, he's ADHD and he's on the spectrum and he's just doing like he's just trying to fill his heart out and throw it out. You're like, no, you know what you're doing.
yeah.
That's a big no-no. Your thing that you posted on Instagram today was actually great.
Oh, the
of
guy
that
explaining
it. Yeah.
He's
like,
from South Africa. He doesn't know how to throw things.
he doesn't
You throw things like, maybe you could toss, like if you
if
put
you're
your hand on your heart and tossed it to the audience. That would be great.
I don't know though.
As soon as you turn your hand down, no, you're
you might be an
racist.
asshole. Just-
Yeah.
I don't know though, because did you see when he first like supported Trump and he went out on stage and he was like
Jumping
jumping
around,
up and
yeah.
down and his belly was like showing out
Yeah,
of his shirt.
he's just he is
It was-
an awkward fellow
well,
for
he,
sure.
he is. So it's autism, I think.
Yeah, he is
he's-
on the spectrum
yeah.
for sure. You could see him stemming in different
Yeah,
parts
Yeah,
of
it
the
seems like
inauguration.
when he's in front of an audience, he appears to be acting how he thinks he should be acting. Like it doesn't seem natural at all.
yeah.
Like his exuberant speech, he's doing the Hitler thing. Like It's just weird.
Yeah,
like you tell he's just doing it because, oh, this is how I should be acting because I'm excited, so therefore I should be doing this exuberant stuff.
Yeah, it makes a perfect meme. Like it's
Oh my
hilarious, but at the same time, it's like if the this is probably a bad comparison, but if like
Probably.
the National Jewish Defense League chairman or something like made this gesture like in excitement, probably nobody would be like, "Oh, that's a Nazi salute."
You're a Nazi.
They would of course be like, "That's an accident." If Elon Musk had actually done or said anything Nazi-ish before, which people will say like, "Oh, on his platform, Nazis, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
But if he had actually ever said like, "Oh, the Nazis were great," or like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so what? Like,
It was clearly not him doing a Nazi salute.
yeah,
Was it though?
CNN,
I don't know.
and like, what's the late night dude that is incredibly left wing?
Jimmy
Jimmy
Fallon?
Kimmel.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel.
They're all saying like he's a Nazi. He's doing a
Oh,
Nazi
yeah,
salute.
of
It's
course.
like he's not. He's just being weird.
Well, what was his response to?
That's what I was
Yeah.
wondering. Like, what is his response to it?
I think he came out and said like, really, like, everybody's a Nazi. Like, I'm getting tired of that one, or something like that. It was like
just
kind of like,
brushed it over.
yeah. So,
But then
and then
he
of course people shot back and were like, he didn't deny it was a
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Oh.
So
And
I
then he
saw
went
it.
full
I
Nazi.
saw another one. It was like a side by side image of him drinking a glass of water and Hitler drinking a glass of water, and they're like, and it says, "See, we got him."
Got him.
Ben Shapiro was
Right
talking
there.
about it, and he's like,
Proof.
just 2 weeks ago, I was at the Holocaust Museum with Elon Musk, and he's talking about anti-Semitism and how, you know, it's going to destroy our world, and but yeah,
Yeah.
it was made out to be something that
Did I just?
Mm. Are we-
bigger than it is.
oh, you're pulling it
no,
up.
I did that. Oh, sorry, it's
Oh.
choppy.
Take off
Even
your
better. It just looks like he's
Yeah,
acting like Elon. Oh.
That photo will. It's like
see, he does it again
That's
though.
what I'm
Like,
saying. He does it twice.
he's throwing his heart out to.
And he does it with such vigor.
yeah,
watch your.
I'm just waiting for someone to do like him shooting lightning out of his fingers. Just don't do it again. Stop. Just stop doing it,
Oh.
Elon.
that's pretty funny.
It's
I mean,
like Trump with his bloody, you know, and the fist in the air, and then that.
And then that.
Those are the two like biggest.
dichotomy.
I just can't. Like, that is the Nazi salute.
Oh,
right?
it totally
if
is.
If you hold your hand out and slightly up and palm down.
Yeah, everybody
That's like-
knows that's got to instantly feel uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
how is he not like, oh,
I just
like,
did that.
slow? Yeah, like. it's
Although,
kinda-
in his defense, Hitler always did it like this, didn't he? He like held it up.
I think when it was like when you're just like saying hi to somebody, but when he was speaking, when Hitler was speaking, it was like,
out and yeah.
and everybody else. I mean, that's how in the United States, that's how kids used to salute the flag.
This is hilarious.
with that.
I
sign.
typed in Hitler Nazi salute into Google, and
And
the
the
only
only
thing that
thing
comes up is
pulling
Elon for pages
That is
and
crazy.
pages. Okay, so hang on.
Maybe don't go. Oh, you were on.
Let's go 1940s.
That was still.
And it still
Still
pulls up
Elon.
Elon.
Wow. Go to.
Okay, I'm
all.
going to type Hitler Nazi salute,
Not Elon.
not Elon, but real Hitler during World War II.
Again, not Elon.
And it's
Type
only Elon.
Hit images.
Okay,
Instead
okay,
of
okay.
Put
videos.
Elon in there, so it's going to give you that. There it is.
Okay.
Okay,
it
so
is.
images work, but videos only brings up
That's
Elon.
funny.
That's hilarious. Oh, here we go. Scroll down there. 1940s Adolf Hitler. So that was like number 10 Google. Oh, now it's not working.
Mm,
Dang it.
poo poo.
And we have dead air.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think
Here,
There,
you can
we
see his
it.
hand like halfway.
Yes.
I
In
think
case
he's
we
a
didn't
weirdo.
know what it looks like. You think Hitler's
it's
a
working
weirdo
now.
or
Oh.
Elon?
Both.
It used to be
Yeah.
a normal way to salute. Then Hitler did it, and everyone's like, "Nope, not doing that anymore."
But here's the thing
No,
about
what's even funnier is the Italian far right leader today came out and said, "Nice to see Elon doing the Italian blah 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 salute." I didn't know this, but it was Mussolini, the Italian leader, who started it. And then once Italy and Germany became friends, Germany adopted this salute. So it was actually originally Italian from fascist Italy. Anyway,
He's on drugs and
I'm not trying to like justify or
yeah.
apologize
Yeah.
for the Nazi salute.
Part of me like with when Trump says something, I'm always like grain of salt 'cause I don't know if he's teasing or for real or what. With Elon, there's always this like, is he an evil genius? Like maybe he did that on purpose just because he's like, this is gonna blow up the internet.
Yeah. No, he definitely appears to like when he gets excited, like just kind of bounce all over.
Yeah, it's like he jumps out of his skin.
Yeah.
Like he's not Elon when he's
Yeah. Which is so
Yeah,
fascinating because like when in a conversation, I've never known him to be that way.
Yeah.
Like, I've never known him to be so excited. He'll like say something absurd. He's always like so measured and like thinks through things before he says them. But
Yeah.
when he's like reacting on a stage or something, is like, woo.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Just like
Yeah.
inflatable guy
Yeah.
in front of a store.
That's what it was. Okay.
So yeah, that was a good one.
Okay. The next thing, we're just going to touch on it real fast. We're not going to be on here long.
Oh, okay.
Snoop roasting Snoop. So this is kind of back to when we were talking about people that are like flip-flopping, who flip-flop. So there's this recorded audio of Snoop during Trump's first win, who's just like, whoever performs for Trump, like talking to all the...
Oh, this is the first time?
Yes, it's the first time. It's
2016?
pretty much just like if you're saying a lot of like racist words that I can't say,
Yeah.
then you're a cracker and like all these things. And now he was at the celebration pretty much looking like a wedding DJ, like performing for Trump.
Oh, really? Snoop was?
Yes, Snoop
Oh my
was.
gosh.
So I don't know if I can cast it. I guess I could, huh?
It's Trump.
See, this makes me think that like a lot of celebrities are like a lot of these businesses. It was like, is this popular? Excuse me.
You're going to have to edit it out.
Which one of you jigaboo gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the one of you Uncle Tom ass doing it. Which one of you?
Damn.
The one that performs for himself.
So this is Snoop talking.
Yeah, that was Snoop talking the first thing, and then here he is.
So this is Snoop performing at the inauguration.
Just barely.
I didn't realize
at
he
the
did.
ball.
Wow.
Inaugural ball.
So, and just to clarify, in the first video, this is 2016. He's basically calling any celebrity who performs for Trump an
All the
Uncle
words.
Tom, which
All
is
the
like
words.
the worst type of racist.
Yeah.
Because that was the narrative back then. Is Trump? That was what was so hilarious. This election is like not a mention of Trump's a racist that I heard.
Right.
Like as far as like it was all like he's a threat to democracy.
Yeah.
But there's like nothing about racism. Why not just be like he's a racist and a threat to democracy? But it was like the first time around he's a racist, and then the second time around he's a threat to democracy.
Yeah. They're
And-
trying to get something to stick.
And that was exactly like Snoop.
Yeah.
He's a racist, and now he's I can perform for a threat to democracy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He's not-
Okay.
not racist.
So the next one is called TikTok Toe.
Jake, why do you
Nancy
use
Pelosi.
TikTok?
I
Why?
use TikTok.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Gross.
You know,
You guys are perverts.
Really
You guys-
though, aren't you worried that like China is gonna like
Lick you through your phone.
learn how you like do everything?
Okay, but really, did you watch some of the trials? Did you listen to some of the questions that they were asking the CEO?
I didn't. At like the
It-
congressional
A few
hearings
years ago when he was
or at the Supreme Court.
Being
The
thing?
questioned?
Supreme Court hearing, yes.
Dang, I should have listened to this one. I missed it.
Yeah, you're a
This is
nerd.
the 5.
Can you at least tell me if you turn on aeroplane mode on a plane, can TikTok talk to the plane, please?
Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore.
I'm
No, I did not.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Look over here, please. I've never heard of a country called Singapore. Is it in Western Europe or mainland Europe? Because I certainly have never heard of Singapore.
TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network.
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand that.
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
You will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Mr. Chow, if I plug in my earphones into my phone while they're in my ear, can TikTok know what's going on in my brain, please?
Wait, these are real questions being
Yes,
asked at
yes.
on the Supreme Court?
No, that's not a Supreme Court hearing. That's a congressional hearing, I think.
I know there was a
Still.
congressional hearing a couple years ago that he was on.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I feel dumber. I feel like that's America.
Yeah.
That's America.
No, that's definitely American Congress.
never heard of a country called Singapore.
That's
Yes, I've never heard of a country called.
I think he said Singapore.
Singapore. Yeah.
That's because of his accent.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so TikTok went down, and then before Trump was even president, like it came back on and was like, because of President Trump,
Yeah,
it's
that was
back
a little
on
funny,
now.
huh?
And
It
I was like,
so weird.
No,
it
no, no,
was
no.
weird. It was weird.
It said thanks to the efforts of President Trump before the inauguration.
Before he was in president. So
Which
his pledge pretty much to saying like, we're going to extend it out was enough for it to come back on. Like just by him.
Even after the
making a
Supreme
pledge?
Court ruled that it shouldn't be used in the United States.
Yeah. It just
It's
seems
weird.
And then-
super weird.
And then the next day it came back. It was so weird.
It was really weird.
I think it was an opportunity for politicians to make money in the stock market before Trump gets into office.
Really?
Maybe.
Because I saw a video, there was a senator, because all of their trades are public. There was a senator who invested in Meta stock right before the Supreme Court said TikTok is done.
Yeah. Okay. I remember reading about that.
So here's my gripe about TikTok. So YouTube, Google, all these programs we use, and we all know, correct me if I'm wrong, but we all know that they collect mountains
All
of
the
data on us.
We've
On
had
our habits,
We've had
on-
episodes on this before.
On our
Yeah.
habits, what we do, what we like,
What we talk
probably
about.
where we go, what we say and talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very reasonable to assume that TikTok is doing this same thing.
They know when I poop.
Yeah. But the difference is the
When Jeff lays an egg.
the company that owns all that information is in China, and China is a government that can literally they don't have to go through a court to tell one of their businesses to give them anything they want. So
Right.
it's kind of like everything you're doing, everything you're watching is just like open game to the Chinese government. That's why I think it's a weird thing that I support the ban. I think it's a weird thing to use. But I don't know. What do you guys?
So the whole thing is that they want an American company to purchase them so that they can keep going, because then they can subpoena the American company to get information on what are you gathering for the people. They can actually figure out what data is going back to.
Well, exactly.
China,
They
right?
can
So-
So that is what they're doing. They're
Yeah,
looking for
They're
buyers.
trying to. So basically, when Trump was signing the executive order, he was explaining it, and it's basically the executive order is just to keep it going for now. They had 90 days to make their decision on the fate. Basically,
Yeah.
he's like, here's the thing. he saved it as a business opportunity because he's like, TikTok's estimated to be worth around $1 trillion. So if by me signing this paper makes it worth $1 trillion or allowing the Supreme Court to make it worth $0, he's like, I think that TikTok should strike an agreement with the government of America, a joint venture, and we get $500 billion.
Yeah.
They can have $500 billion or zero. Like, we can actually work this out together where the American government or some American company owns half of it and they can own the other half. And I think it's genius, actually. I mean, couldn't we use $500 billion towards our deficit right now?
I kind of feel like, why don't they just make a law that fixes whatever they're concerned about? Like, they're concerned about this privacy stuff and the Chinese government having all this access to it. Why don't you just make a law that, like, apps purchased in the United States have to be like the information has to stay in the United States or whatever. Like, your servers have to be there here. Like,
that's basically what they're already saying.
Yeah.
They're not saying that exactly, but I think they want to have access to it.
Yeah. Well, they should, right? Like, anything to do with the business and commerce of the United States, we should have, like if you have a gripe with TikTok, you should be able to sue them, but they're a foreign company and all that data is held in a foreign area. So you can sue TikTok America, but it's like the parent company, I don't know. It just seems, although there are probably hundreds, if not thousands or millions of companies that we deal with that are foreign companies, I think in this case it's bad because China is like our number one adversary. Like, China realistically is like Japan pre-World War II. Like, we've been like, our ships, our destroyers have been like taunting each other. Like, we're not necessarily on the brink of war, but like definitely heading there. So I don't know. Seems like a wild thing.
Yeah, it is crazy for sure.
But Jake loves it. Like
I mean, I use it.
Here's the thing.
Yeah. But if a thing popped up and said like, we are China and we own you, keep using click next. Would you click next and just like keep scrolling?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, probably. Because they don't own me.
They don't know.
You don't.
What if they
own
like
me.
show you a bunch of
You don't own me.
What if they like show that they've like been recording your face like while watching videos and they're like, here's Jake's reaction when he saw this
What are they going to
video.
do with that though?
Well, they could blackmail him. They could be like, hey, Stacy, look how Jake's face looked when he watched this video of this girl or whatever. You know what I mean?
You're like assuming Jake is the most expressive person ever. His face like,
I know.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about my facial expression.
When you look at TikTok, it's like this. Just deadpan.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what.
It's like every face.
For me, it's that or laughing really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have so many recipes.
I know, right? I've
on
learned
TikTok.
so much
I've
from
baked,
TikTok.
I've cooked so many things that I got from TikTok.
See, but aren't those same things on like Facebook and
No, it's
YouTube?
different.
Sometimes, but the
they
Chinese government knows me so well, they know exactly what recipe I should see next.
His algorithm is his For You
so
page.
finely
is
tuned.
So finely tuned.
When TikTok was down, I was like, oh, okay. And it went over to Instagram. I didn't even bat an eye. I did think, shoot, where am I going to get that cinnamon roll recipe from if it's down?
Yeah, but for the millions of people too that was their main source of income.
Yeah.
That was also a big thing.
See, I didn't understand that either because can they just start a YouTube channel?
Well, when you
No.
have 5 million followers on TikTok, you start a channel on YouTube. It's like starting over again if you're not
And they
already
pay
there.
you differently.
Yeah.
Oh, they make
The
more
pay
money on
structure
TikTok.
different, yeah.
It's just different.
Oh,
It's just it's different, but it's when you're relying on the revenue through one channel and that channel's closed, you're not gonna, it's like starting over.
I have thought that the competition with these big companies is not a good space, like eBay. Like, there's not really an alternative eBay, except to my understanding in the music industry, they have their own called Reverb. And everybody's gone to that because Reverb charges 3% and eBay charges what? Like 25%? Like
It's
something.
insane.
Yeah,
They
it's
charge a lot.
it's outrageous.
For all
It's-
sales,
for all sales.
25% to the seller.
25%. So
Charge to
if
the
I
seller
sell
for
this
eBay.
book on eBay for
That's been signed multiple times.
$100 because I've signed it so many times. eBay takes like 20. It might even be higher. It might be like 30 or 40%.
No,
So-
and it depends on the category. There's a lot of
and probably
elements
how
to
much
it.
you sell and all that. But it's like if you're just like
It's high.
like I have an eBay account that is mostly purchases, but I've sold a couple things, and every time I do, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I hadn't done that because I didn't remember how high it was. It was like you just lost all your money. Like
I can tell you exactly.
Jeff
I'll
knows
give
he
you a
does this all the
breakdown
time.
on something. Let me.
But I bring that up because now I kind of understand if these influencers or whatever make a lot more money on TikTok than they do on like YouTube. If YouTube charges like a ridiculous amount, then that makes a lot more sense.
Okay, so I had this order. I sell stuff on eBay, listener, and I had this order for square nails. You know what square nails are, right? Like,
Yeah, the
so
old nails.
Old nails. I got 4 pounds of square nails, and the order total was $109. That was with shipping and everything.
Yeah,
And it gives me the breakdown of what I made on it after. So eBay,
after shipping and all that.
eBay made $20,
Oh, okay.
20%.
$100. So it was 20%.
Yeah.
And then I had to pay for a label, and I also had eBay advertise it, and they made $15 off that advertising.
Yeah.
So I actually paid eBay $18 plus $15, whatever that is,
Wow.
Yeah.
on a $100 order.
That's
Yeah,
that's insane.
I'm not a fan of eBay.
Yeah.
$33.
What would you use? It's just like KSL classifieds or
Yeah, but I've used eBay before
yeah.
just
Yeah.
for some items that are better to offer.
like camera
the-
equipment or
camera equipment.
Yeah.
Certain
Yeah.
things, if you try to sell on KSL or something, it'll take you forever to find the right person
Yeah.
to buy it at that
Yeah.
It
price.
depends on how quickly you need
So you
to
put it
sell
on
something.
eBay.
And you're limiting yourself to like Southwest Wyoming, Utah, Southern.
Not
Yeah,
even.
true.
I've sold a ton of stuff on KSL. I've never had someone come from Southwest
Well, it's usually
Wyoming.
local if you're not willing to ship it.
Yeah,
I have
you can
people-
ship it.
Yeah, I have people complaining because they have to come from Provo.
Right.
You're like, come on,
Can you
guys.
meet me halfway?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but
Yeah.
that
Like, oh,
is
wait, you're not my neighbor.
but that is by far the best way because you're making the actual market value, like using KSL. You're like, I'm selling this.
That's not true, though. Here's my point. You could have those nails. I sold nails, Phil, 4 pounds of nails
Right.
for $100.
Right.
Who on KSL is going to buy 4 pounds of nails?
Right.
Your
You
market,
have a
your
wider-
potential market is a
wider
lot
market.
higher.
Wider
than
market.
And
eBay. That's
I've
what we're
sold a
saying.
bunch of those, and you know where they go? Like New York.
Yeah.
Like they go way far from here.
Yeah. Well,
And-
I'm thinking like camera equipment actually in particular because
Oh,
I've tried to sell like a lens before that I'm like, I know that this lens is $1,200 new
Mhm.
and most people are paying like $800 for it in this condition. But then you sell it on eBay. I was like, okay, now it was like $450 after all that stuff you talked about.
But
like,
then how much could you have sold it on KSL without fees?
well, I think for that like $800, but you
your
can't
market's
find a
smaller.
buyer. Yeah, you have a smaller market for that.
And people on KSL, I feel like they try to really lowball you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of that.
Yeah.
yeah.
There was
I usually do
someone
that.
on Facebook is another popular place to sell. Facebook Marketplace. There was someone
Full of
selling
creeps.
an old original Nintendo
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
for $100, and it was marked down. It was originally like 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see what it was before. And I said, "Let me know if you'll let it go for 80 or 75 or something." And he's like, "Let me know if you'll pay 125 for it." And I was like, "You want me to pay more than it's listed for?" He's like, "Yeah, that would be pretty awesome, huh?"
Okay, we don't.
And
need to
then
be
he
a
blocked me.
Dick about it, sir.
Totally blocked me.
No, I've had one before. I was looking for a cooler, a specific like nice cooler, and someone was selling one in Salt Lake, and I was like, and they were selling it for more than retail. They're like, we've only used it once. And I'm like, any chance to come down to like and what I said
Market
was like
price,
a
maybe?
little lower than retail. And they're like, "Oh no, I paid more for that." And then I like sent them like 5 links of like ones you could order.
Trying to prove
Yeah.
the seller
You're
wrong?
being a Karen.
Well, yeah. I just like, I was like, "Why are you doing
Yeah,
this?"
why-
Like, I don't
I could clearly
understand.
buy it brand new for this much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like so bizarre. But
But I run into that all the time. I'll go into like an estate sale and I'll be like, hey, how much do you want for this? Like, oh, I was thinking like $20. And I'm like, dude, these sell on eBay for like $15, you know?
yeah,
I just go, oh, cool. And I don't say anything
And then
to
just
them.
move on.
yeah.
I just
Yes.
walk away.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's not
and I
worth
just
engagement.
know this guy doesn't know what things cost.
well, that's what I was like. Maybe he just doesn't know how much, like, whatever. Like,
Right.
I felt like I was trying to help him out because I'm like, this
By
is gonna-
mansplaining it?
this is just going to sit here.
Mansplaining.
Exactly.
it.
I'm like, this is just going to sit there and not be sold. Like, what are you doing?
let him
Like,
figure it out.
Yeah, I guess so.
And see, and then when I figured that out on the estate sale, I go, this guy obviously doesn't know what things actually cost. So
Yeah.
I go look for things that are worth a lot of money that he's undervaluing.
Oh,
See?
that's Jeff is wise with the estate sales.
Just
He's
made
like,
all that up.
this guy's dumb, so I'm going to come back and get him.
I'm going to come back with the mustache.
Or I'll just walk
Get
out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this guy's a dumbass. I'm out of here. See ya. Your katana is not worth that.
I love
We
it. I
had a
love those
samurai
jokes that
sword.
come up later in the podcast.
Call it callback.
Yeah, good job.
It's funny.
Love it.
Uh,
Okay, so I feel like we're going to skip to the main topic just because we've been going for so long.
All right.
Is that cool? Or
I was hoping we could go so long we didn't have to talk about the main topic because it's so embarrassing. So
This is, I
I'm
needed
ready.
it to
I'm
leave
ready.
it a little lighthearted. All this
Scary.
stuff is heavy. Okay, so the main topic is called awkward.
Awkward.
And we're just going to share personal, funny, or awkward stories.
Okay.
Personal, either that's happened to you or that it's happened to someone that you know. So, I
Jeff,
will
are you
start.
ready for this, Jeff?
Yeah,
And
you
so
guys can be,
he's-
if you, even though I did text you on this a couple days ago,
Yeah,
I will
Phil.
go first if
Okay.
you guys still need time to think.
yeah, you get it going.
Okay, so my daughter got a new friend at school, and so we set up a play date and like kind of like a meet and greet with her family so that I could get to know them before my daughter goes to play over at their house.
Uh-huh.
So I walk in and it's like the parents, some older siblings, and then this dog comes up to greet me, and I'm wearing just like recreational shorts.
Uh-huh.
And the dog jumps up on me and puts its paw in my my
The top of your
pocket
And pulls your
and
pants
pulls
down.
my pants down.
Oh my
pulls my
gosh.
pants down.
I thought this dog was going to hump you for sure.
I felt like that would have been better almost because I could have swiped it off. But like, they're just like pulling my pants up, and I was like, "This is like the best icebreaker ever." Like, I'm Amber.
Oh my
I'm Amber.
goodness.
Now you
I'm
know my
Amber.
color of my
Now
underwear.
You know my granny panties. What's up? So yeah,
That's embarrassing.
That's a good
that
one.
was it.
that is-
Thanks.
a good
Top
one.
that, people. Who's
Yeah.
next? Jake?
So I think I've told you guys this story before, but in high school we were at a school dance and
I've told my kids this story.
this is a good one. So I don't take myself very seriously. Like I don't really get embarrassed. I'll usually make fun of myself to make me feel better about a situation that I'm in if it's potentially embarrassing, but so this one was, there's kind of no way out of it by the nature. You'll see why. But so we're at a high school dance. I'm a junior. There's a girl that I'm attracted to. She's a senior, and there's a song that comes on the thing. U2, With or Without You.
With or without you.
I like the song. I ask her to dance, and we're dancing, talking. It's awkward. And I commented on the song. I said, I really like this song. It's a great song to dance to. She's like, yeah, it's a good song. I said, I like you too. And I'm immediately like, oh crap. Like, what do you say? No, I don't mean that. But I mean, I do, but I just,
Because you were saying that you like U2 the band.
I like
but
you
you
too,
clearly
the band. Yeah.
understood that the girl.
But clearly I'm telling her,
thinks-
I like you also.
Yeah.
So
There's two things happening at once.
There's really no way to like come back from that without making it more awkward. So that was really weird. The rest of the dance was just like,
What did she say?
oh, she didn't say anything. It was kind of like
Awkward.
kind of I think bashful face, maybe a little bit, but
I like you too.
I think it was Jennifer Felix.
Oh, you're not
Who that
supposed to
was?
say who it was.
Why not?
I don't know.
Maybe
Why not?
Maybe she still has a crush on you because that one time you said you liked her.
I think that's who it was. I don't remember.
I don't know.
She's like,
I don't
I
know
knew
who
it.
that was.
This one won't land as well because Trent's not here. I wish he was. But this was one of the most awkward moments of mine and I'm sure his life. And it's because you got listeners, you know Trent. You've been listening, you know his personality. He's always been the same. And like most of us, I think. And he used to have this gag where he would he got into this thing where every time he met somebody new, he'd be like, hey, what's your name? And then they'd say their name and he'd say, get the F out of here.
Yeah.
And it was
my house all
and he
the
thought it was really funny. He was 15 or I don't know. Maybe he was a little older than that.
Older, yeah.
Yeah.
15, 16, 17, something.
Anyway, he'd do it all the time. And one time we were hanging out somewhere and he did it. This new girl came up and he said that to her. And she was like, wow, that was amazing. Will you shake my hand? And he's like, what? She's like, shake my hand. That was seriously the coolest thing I've ever heard. But she was stone cold, no
Dead
emotion.
serious.
Yeah. And she just played off. And Trent got more awkward than I have ever
Really?
seen him. I thought he was going to cry. He was just I don't even know how to describe it, but he just couldn't do it. And I brought this up over the years and he seems to have wiped it out of his memory.
That's so weird to even
But-
picture him like that.
Exactly. Just not because
didn't
Trent's
know
a
what to say.
charismatic, witty guy.
Yeah.
But he was just floored. He just didn't even know what to say or do. And I've
what's
never
next?
forgot it because it was just so awkward. It was great.
So funny.
I relish in that awkwardness. It's
Yeah, this is
It's
why we're telling
Yeah.
these stories.
exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go, Trent.
It's your awkward story too.
Yeah.
So you guys want borderline gay or borderline pervy?
Wow.
Okay.
These are
We're
the
going
options.
there.
You only get
Right.
one. Not
You
telling
only-
both the stories.
Dang it.
Let's do.
Can we have neither?
Let's do perv and what?
Pervy or gay?
Pervy or gay?
No, neither one's good. Please don't. Just tell me.
Just do pervy.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm picking
Okay,
pervy.
pervy's
I
fine.
want to hear
Let's go with
both.
what Amber said, so
I-
we can blame it on her.
Okay.
Fine, I'll
Okay.
take it.
So I was probably, gosh, how old would I have been? 12
Uh-huh.
years old, probably. And so I have my little brother, Danny,
Uh-huh.
and we have our older sister, Rachel.
Uh-huh.
There was no tablets or internet,
Uh-huh.
right? So you did the weirdest shit ever to entertain yourself. So me and Danny decide that we're gonna go into Rachel's room and with costumes on, right? We're gonna put different clothes on and be awkward and it was really funny because we'd show up and be like, ah, look at us, and then we'd leave.
Yeah.
So
I'm wearing a bra.
we come in with yeah,
Right.
but we come in
Naturally,
with
no internet. Of course, that's what you do.
my dad's shirt over our head, but our heads through the sleeve and our stomachs got, you know what I mean? Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So we'd come in, try and make her laugh, and then we'd leave. And we'd go in the laundry room and everyone's laundry is sitting there and we'd put it on and whatever. So for some reason, I decide that what I'm going to do is go in my underwear because we're fully clothed up to that point. But I'm going to put my shirt around my feet
Uh-huh.
like my pants are down, but it's my shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put my arms in some pants like this,
Uh-huh.
way up in the air.
Naturally, right.
So I walk in and it's like I'm upside down, but I'm not, right? It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I'm in my underwear. So that was the slightly pervy part because it's my stepsister and it's like, whatever. This is the embarrassing part. So I put my
tongue was out
arms
the
in the
zipper.
pants. I put my shirt on my
Legs.
on my legs,
Uh-huh.
and then I walk in and I'm just in my underwear and I get stuck in the pants. I cannot physically move my arms to get the pants off of my arms to the point that Danny couldn't get him off of me.
Oh.
Rachel couldn't get him off me. I start panicking.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that
oh
makes
my
me
God, I'm
claustrophobic.
stuck. I'm stuck. So Karen, my stepmom, had to come down and like, I'm standing there with pants in my hands in my underwear
And a
because I
shirt
kicked
on
the
your
shirt
torso.
off by then.
Oh.
What the fuck are you doing, Jeff? You know? I don't know. That was really embarrassing.
How did she get him off? Did she
I don't
have to cut
remember.
him
I think
off?
she just had to. She pulled it at the
You
right
blocked
angle.
it out because it was so traumatic for
Yeah.
you.
And then I think Karen said something like, "What are you doing in your underwear around your sister?" or something like that. And I'm like,
and then it
"Yeah."
embarrassed you.
Then-
You're right. This
then
whole
I-
thing we're just going to forget about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like,
And
cool,
now you
I'm a
remember.
perv.
Now you're just
I'm
like
a-
telling all of
That wasn't
America.
pervy at all. That was hilarious.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a
I
good one.
felt
That's a
like
good
it
one.
was awkward.
I think I know what the gay one is.
Yeah. You want to share it?
No, but wait, because
No,
you brought
I
up
want to hear it from you.
you brought up Karen and Danny, so
Uh-huh.
I have the best story.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, so Karen, Jeff's stepmom, she did like the musicals at the junior high or whatever, and we would like be involved. And she's like all women or people who run junior high musicals, I know a little bit about this because my wife does it, are just like at the end of their rope all the time, long hours every day, no pay, barking orders at kids who aren't listening at all, like, and we're running through this show, this musical. Well, Danny, I can't remember what his part was, but he's wearing like a long-tailed coat. What do you call those? Like suit. Penguin
yeah.
style suit. And for some reason there was like a rubber chicken that was like on set all the time, and like she's just like yelling things at people, and you can tell she's really frustrated, and she's like, okay, closing call, now the curtain's open, everyone come out and bow. And Danny is in the middle, in the front of everyone, with his hands on his hips, marching forward, and he has his zipper down with the rubber chicken sticking out of it. And she just lost it. She's like, Danny! And I just was like up in the bleachers or something, and I just like rolling over laughing so hard. It had to be one of the funniest
That is
moments of my life.
classic Danny. That is
Oh
it's
my
the most
gosh.
ridiculous crap ever.
It was insane. It was so funny.
Funny.
But anyway,
Dang. Okay. I've got one final one just because it includes you two.
Oh,
guys were
great.
both-
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed already.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah,
Does
you
it
do
involve a
know.
rope
Maybe.
swing?
It does involve ropes.
Oh, yes.
I saw
Oh.
Jake nakey once.
And Jeff.
I wasn't
right?
No,
that
it wasn't Jeff.
embarrassed.
Jeff was
Jeff
like
had the flashlight.
Jeff had the flashlight.
He was the one holding the
He was
flashlight
yeah.
that illuminated the.
That illuminated
The world.
No, I distinctly remember you being naked.
No, that's when I got the nickname Kirby.
There were other times.
What?
Was it that was the Kirby moment?
I'm pretty sure.
It probably was.
I mean, it wasn't the first time we rope swing naked off of that swing. So
Yes.
Naturally, no internet. That's what you do. Rope swing naked
Naturally, yeah.
with your boy. Your
I'm
dude.
sorry you were there.
It's okay. But for the listeners,
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh, no.
Yes, you. Yeah. Mhm.
pin it because we'll come back. It was late at night. Do you remember when I was there? Do you remember this?
Trying to block it out still.
Okay, all right.
I remember.
Yes.
I vaguely.
You were there too, Phil? Yeah. So it was
I
at night, the
distinctly
Provo
remember.
River, and the boys are rope swinging naked, naturally.
Uh-huh.
And I,
What you
Totally
do?
natural.
yeah. So I would turn around when the boys would like climb up to the perch to swing off. And then,
Provo Canyon.
yeah. And then I'd get the okay, like the okay for me to turn around. Like it was like they were in.
Because
or
we're
whatever.
hidden by the branches and.
Because we're savage, but we
Yeah.
also
And
have
it's
like
dark.
some
We have-
And it's
dignity.
dark.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
So Jake's up there and I hear okay. So I just turn around and like Jeff's shining the light right
This sounds
like,
so
just
bad.
like per swing.
And
And
then Amber starts laughing like uncontrollably. I remember that.
Oh.
Yep.
Anyways, that was
But
it.
I,
I did
I think
too.
it was the same night because I remember feeling very pressured to do that, and it was like, don't shine the flashlight on me, don't shine the flashlight. You probably didn't look at all from then on, but I remember swinging off, and I think Jake shined the flashlight on me and said something to the effect of, "There goes Kirby," like Kirby, the little character.
Yeah,
It was like a
Nintendo.
pink ball.
I think I brought up Kirby in the hate game.
Maybe.
Oh,
It was
your
after
guys'
that
hate
moment. We were
game.
playing the hate game at Rhiannon's
Dang.
house.
And yeah, so
Wow.
that was Kirby.
Okay. Well, these were lovely, awkward stories.
Sorry,
And
Amber.
why?
Sorry.
is it-
That we did those things to you.
because
I want Jeff to tell us the other one.
I said I wasn't though.
Oh, you said you weren't.
I said it wasn't.
But here
So
we
don't-
go.
Feels
You don't-
but
Jeff, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable.
This is probably one of the most genuinely embarrassing things because everybody knows our friend's dad, Devin's dad, right?
Mhm.
Just say that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We've told this story on.
Have we?
Yeah.
well, I haven't
On the
heard it, and
podcast.
probably neither.
Okay,
has
here we
listened.
go. Here
there
we
you
go.
go. Yeah.
So basically, for some reason,
I don't even. First of all, I don't even know how you start to explain how you started doing.
there's no justification for.
But I'm actually really excited
I'm
how
gonna
you're
do
going to
my
get into it.
Such
let me sit on the edge of my
great
seat. Okay,
preface.
here's how I'm going to explain it. We're going to start with this sentence. So there was no internet, no TikTok.
You had to make your own
You had to
entertainment.
pretend, and you had to think of things,
And
you
no,
had
and no alcohol.
You had
We're
fun-
all
no
Mormon
alcohol.
kids.
We're all
Yeah.
kids.
to, no caffeine, like the most sugar.
Yeah.
That was it.
True.
So for some
Wow.
reason, like we're a pretty like physical group. We give each other hugs and
We
like, say
wrestle a
goodbye.
lot.
We wrestle.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah, you guys
we
did
play.
wrestle a lot.
Did.
Yeah.
So
We did.
me and Devin at some point decided that we were going to go through like we were given a hug, and it was like I think it started out with a
Maybe-
tornado.
Maybe I have.
Okay.
Right,
So you
naturally,
spin
no
around.
internet.
So while we're hugging, we spin around in circles. Tornado. Okay. That's a good start, right?
No
That's
internet.
exactly what it was.
Seems
like they
logical.
hugged and they spun and they yelled, "Tornado!"
Yeah. Like that sounds logical.
Yeah.
No internet, right?
Uh-huh.
No internet. Everybody, there was no internet. But we weren't stupid kids. We knew there were other natural disasters.
Like
So,
earthquakes.
like, well, we didn't go straight to an earthquake, but like, yeah. Whatever. We went through some natural disasters, but we ended up on earthquakes.
No volcano.
So it got to the point where it was kind of me and Devin's like parting handshake. So I'd be like, "See you later, man." So this one night,
No internet.
no internet.
internet.
There was no internet. Me and Devin give each other a big hug in his driveway. It's like late at night, and he lived at the end of the circle, and I had to walk home from there. So everyone else was already at home. I give Devin a big hug. I'm like, "I'll see you later, man." I'm like, "Oh, tornado!" And we just like spin around in a circle, fall over, and it somehow got onto earthquake. And basically, either I or Devin are on top, and it's still an earthquake naturally, which isn't the embarrassing part, believe it or not. The embarrassing part was when his dad came out and said, "What the hell are you guys doing?"
And
We had-
that's pretty
we had-
embarrassing.
We had
at that
no
point.
answers.
Oh.
And all natural disasters ceased from that moment forward.
Oh my gosh.
And
The great calm came across the land.
I hope I get Devin's understanding and he accepts my apology for telling this story. But that was embarrassing, I believe, for the both of us. But his dad will be glad to know that we both turned out straight and have kids.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have so many about Devin now that you've said
Oh,
that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any.
Well,
Oh.
we'll have to do that.
Did
some
you?
other time.
I was thinking the other day, did you and Devin hang out much?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
He
because
was
he
in
was a
Pleasant
PG.
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. See, this
Yeah.
is probably Devin hung out with us a bunch a little before then. We still hung out with Devin, but I do remember. I don't
More
remember
scarce.
seeing Devin and you together very
Yeah.
much.
No, we didn't hang out too much. Okay, I would also like to do a call to action to our listener.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
have an awkward or funny story, email it to us.
Yeah.
Hey.
What's the,
Where would they email?
That's what I was going to ask you, Jake.
info@americanforked.com.
That's right.
That still Google has not taken away.
Nice.
This is not a Google
That's good.
That's right.
address. Do not
Yeah.
call the voicemail. Call the voicemail. It won't
And
be
tell
us,
them your funny
but
and awkward story.
Yeah.
And then tell us about it
Yeah, tell the person that you
in an email.
answered the phone.
Call a voicemail and be like, "Is this the American Forked Podcast?"
Yes.
Noise.
Well, thanks for making my first hosting time fun.
Magical. You did great,
Super
Amber.
magical. Thanks.
You are the
It was a little
first-
rocky at first, but
You are the first
No.
hostess.
with the mostest or no?
Well, yeah.
Just-
You're
Oh,
the only
hostess.
Only one.
You're the first
Yes.
hostess.
Wow.
That's right.
So you are the hostess with the hostess.
That's right.
I wanted